Okay, here's a side view of Megan Langenfeld. She won the MVP for the College World Series in 2010. She played for UCLA. She's a fantastic player, great hitter, and here's a waist-high pitch that she hit for a home run during the World Series. She's probably a pretty good person to model your swing after. And we're going to use her and her side view to compare your swings to. So let's just go through our checklist. First we want to see back knee to pitcher and then the belly button to pitcher. So she's fully rotated her body, and those are both a check. Is her front leg straight at impact? Yes, it is. Is her back elbow bent? Yes, it is. She's up on her back toes right there. She is palm up, palm down. It's a little blurry, but you can see she is not rolling her wrists over. She is palm up, palm down at impact. And another thing at impact is the elbow is above the hands and the hands are above the barrel. So you've got this downward tilt to the bat. The bat is not flat at impact. There's a downward tilt to it. So she's in a perfect position there as well. And the last thing is, are her eyes on the ball? And they most definitely are. Her eyes are looking right down at that ball. So here's a checklist of using Megan Langenfeld. All right, Kristin, we're going to go through your impact position and compare it to where Megan Langenfeld's at. First thing is back knee to pitcher. Yep, your back knee is the pitcher and your belly button's facing the pitcher, so you're good there. Is your front leg straight? No, you still got a slight bend to your front leg. And a lot of the things will all fall into place once we get that front leg straight, so keep that in mind. Is your back elbow bent? Yeah, it's kind of straightening a little bit, but it's bent. We could probably work on that a little bit more. But again, once we fix these things, it'll all fall into place. Are you up on your back toes? No, not really. Your back foot, even though you're rotating and need a pitcher, your back foot is still kind of flat. And once you get it all right, once your front leg is straight, then you're probably going to have a little bit more bend to your back knee there. Your front foot's going to be up straight, and your posture isn't going to be so straight up and down. You're going to more have this posture where you kind of look like that. So everything's all connected, and once we get all that fixed, everything's going to fall into place. Let's look at palm up, palm down. You can see right when you go to hit the ball, there you're palm up, palm down, but your hands turn over right there, and the back of your left hand's facing the pitcher. You can see that. Your hands are rolling right at impact, so we want to work on that. We want to be palm up, palm down at impact. And are your eyes on the ball? Yes, they are right there, so good job on that. So there's a checkpoint of how you compare to Megan Langenfeld. Okay, now we're going to use our elite softball player, Megan Langenfeld, and she's going to show us how to get our body connected and how to rotate properly. So first off, here's right after her stride. You can see she's up on her front toe. She's at toe touch. And now she's going to drop her heel to heel drop, and that's going to start the rotation. So what I'm going to do here is draw a line on that side of her head, on that side of her head, and a line right through her body right there. And you can see she doesn't lunge. She doesn't move towards the pitcher. Once she starts to rotate, she keeps everything still and just rotates her body right around that stationary axis right there. Let's watch that again. Head still, body still, everything rotates. Okay? So that's a proper way to rotate. Let's take a look at, as she's rotating, Ike to Mikey, okay? So here she is, her front shoulder's touching her chin. There's Ike. She rotates all the way to Mikey right there as well, okay? Another thing I want you to look at her front shoulder. Her front shoulder does not stop rotating until she hits the ball. It rotate, it keeps rotating all the way till she hits the ball. Let's look at another thing. Let's see, look at how her hands are about shoulder height when she starts, or about as high as the highest strike. Now we want to keep the bat nice and close to our back shoulder. As you can see, she does a great job of doing that, keeping the bat close to her back shoulder as she rotates. And the last thing we're going to look at is right at impact, we know that her back elbow is bent, okay? Now, after impact, everything extends. And now we're going to call this the power V, and you can see that our power V is up, just like that. So now we're going to use all these checkpoints and see how you guys look as well. All right, Kristin, now we're going to check your connection and your rotation. So we're going to look at you right when you start to rotate, all right? So heel drop is right there. So now we want to stop all of our forward movement, keep our head still and just rotate around that stationary axis. So let's see if you stay there or not. Okay? Pretty good, actually. You're not too bad of a lunge there. That's good. Okay, so we got that. Let's take a look at Ike Mikey shoulders. All right, let's get rid of this. And let's see, at the beginning, you're at Ike, and we swing through the, swing through the ball. And there you hit Mikey. Okay, rotating your shoulders. Let's look at your back elbow getting connected with your back hip. Okay, so the back elbow comes down. We want to get it connected, and right there it's connected. Now everything should rotate together. You can see, yeah, you know what? Your arms get a little, okay, watch your hip is here, and your back elbow is here, and you can see now your arms are getting ahead of your hip, okay? So we want to keep everything rotating. So your arms are getting ahead of your lower body. Yeah, you can see that right there. So you're kind of losing your connection as you swing. Is your bat close to your back shoulder? Let's take a look here. So we want to keep the bat, you got it nice and close right there. Now we want to keep it close as long as possible. You can see it's kind of falling away from your back shoulder. So doing that torque drill, that's going to help you keep that a little bit closer and keep everything connected, okay? So there's another thing to remember. And let's look at your, right here is your contact position. We see that the hands are getting a little bit ahead, but now you're going to extend your arms after contact, and look at your power V is pointed straight down as opposed, okay, so that's your power V, and if you remember Megan Langenfeld's power V, it looked more out this way. Their power V was up instead of down. So that's something but once we fix all these things, they'll all fall into place. So there's your connection and rotation analysis. Okay, now we're going to look at some of the keys to making good solid contact with the ball and hitting hard line drives as opposed to infield pop-ups. And what that entails is getting the bat on the plane of the pitch. So we're going to look at a lot of different things here. First off, what I'm going to do is plot Megan Langenfeld's hand path, okay? And I drew a yellow line right even with her logo on her shirt, her UCLA logo, okay? So I'm just going to plot her front hand here with a red line, and we're going to see what that front hand does as she rotates around. Okay, so it stays there. There it goes. You can see that her hands never drop below the yellow line, and her hand path is kind of this shallow U, and the barrel of the bat is going to follow what your hand path does. So you can see that's her hand path right there. It never drops below that yellow line. And what that's going to differ, and what you're going to see from some of the girls, is a lot of them have a straight down hand path where the hands go straight down like this. And that's what we're going to fix, and then that's going to lead to more consistent contact. The next thing we're going to look at is the path of her front elbow. So right here, she's going to begin to rotate, so I'm going to plot that same red line on her front elbow. The way she's able to keep her hands above that yellow line is her elbow rotates up on the same plane as the bat, okay? So the elbow rotates up. That's another important thing there. And the next thing is we're going to plot the barrel of the bat and the pitch, okay? So give me a second here to get this set up. Here comes the pitch, okay? So I'm going to plot the pitch with a green line. And there's the ball right there, and here's the ball right here. So the pitch is coming in right here. Right, like, right about there. Okay? Now I'm going to use a red line, and we're going to plot the barrel of her bat, okay? So right there, she's starting to get her barrel on the plane of the pitch. And her barrel is right there. Let's see, let's plot it again. Barrel's right there. Right there. So you can see, because of her hand path not dropping below the yellow line, the barrel of her bat is on plane of the pitch for a long time. That means if she's a little bit early or a little bit late, she can still make good contact with the ball because the barrel of the bat is on plane with the pitch. So now we're going to use these examples and see how you guys look. Okay, now we're going to look at hand path and getting the bat on the plane of the pitch, okay? So again, apples to apples, this is a approximately waist-high pitch, just like Megan Langenfeld's was. So now I'm going to plot your hands with a red line as we cycle through the swing. You can see how your hands come below the yellow line. So again, you're swinging down on the ball. Your hand path is coming down, and then at the end it stays flat there, okay? So what that's going to do, you'll see, is it's going to cause your bat to not be on the plane of the pitch as long as it could be. So we want to work on, when we're doing that rotate the front elbow up drill, we want to keep your hands above your letters, okay? So here, we'll plot your front elbow the same. I can't see it with your sweatshirt on. I'm going to guess it's probably right about there. Right there. So you're rotating your elbow flat and your hands are dropping below the line, right? That's why we're working on that rotating the front elbow up drill, okay? Make sense? And then, so now let's look at the plane of the ball coming in versus your bat. So we'll plot the ball in green, just like that. All right, so the ball is coming in about on this plane right there, okay? So now we'll plot your sweet spot of your bat in red. All right, so it will start right there, okay? So it's down below the plane. Now you're hitting the bottom of the ball, all right? And now you're coming up on plane. So the two best spots for you to actually hit this ball when the meat of your bat is right on the plane of the pitch, you only have two spots, right there and right there. But if we work on keeping your hands above the yellow line, rotating your front elbow up, then the bat is going to be on the plane of the pitch for a much longer time. And these are the areas you want to hit the ball, from your back thigh to right out in front of the front foot. So all these things are going to come together, but that's why we're doing the rotate the front elbow drill up, okay?